Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well. You have Penguin Speaks here, and this video is primarily just going to be saying, I've been gone for a minute. I think the last video I made might have been in 2020, so it's been a couple years, but it's been an interesting couple of years, and I'll explain why. Well, my count is now up to a total of 9 pulmonary embolisms, 3 heart attacks, and 2 strokes. And why am I having all these strokes? Well, I don't know. Nothing better to do, I guess. The second stroke was not as bad as the first one. I mean, the first one left me paralyzed. Well, as the second one, it only affected, it actually hit in my brainstem, and it only affected my 6th cranial nerve. So that was lateral eye movement. And the reason why I went to the hospital was I was having severe double vision, and I was driving on the interstate, and man, it looked like the lane came to nothing and ended. And I pulled over and said, I can't drive anymore. So my wife took me to the emergency room, and they sent me from Mon Valley Hospital down to UPMC Mercy, and I had a stroke. But all that's resolved. That one's not, I still have the effects from the first one, but the second one not being as bad kind of healed up on its own as far as my vision. So, and where are we now? 2 more heart attacks. One of them was kind of minor, just adjusted my blood thinners, didn't do a stent or anything. But then I did have one they call the Widowmaker. My LAD was 100% blocked. And that was a crucial time. I started having chest pains, told my wife about it. She's like, do you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, I need to. I don't want to, but I need to. So she said, you want me to call an ambulance? Well, no, because an ambulance is going to take 15 minutes to get there, 15, 20 minutes to assess me, hook me up to their stuff, then another 15, 20 minutes to the hospital. And I knew that I needed to get to the hospital pretty quickly. So I had her drive me, got up there in about 20 minutes. And they did the EKG. The tech kind of turned white, ran out of the room. A doctor came in and said, so you had a heart attack about a year ago? Yes, sir. Well, you're having another one now, and it's pretty bad. So within minutes, I was in the cath lab and getting shaved and prepped, and so I have another stent in my heart. I think what really bothered me the most about that one was how much I was told how lucky I was. I mean, you kind of, I knew, once I knew what it was and where, which artery it hit, I knew I was lucky. So I didn't really need to keep hearing it time and time and time again. Just take my lumps and move on, right? So I was in the hospital for a couple weeks with that, and they, of course, adjusted all my blood thinners again. And that's a strange thing. They determined that because of all the PEs and all the clots I've had, they determined that the Eliquis was not working anymore. So now I'm on Coumadin, and with Coumadin, the dose changes a lot depending on what's called your INR, which is how thick or how thin your blood is. And I have a machine that I have to check my blood once a week, and that thing, you prick your finger for, if you're a diabetic, you know what I'm talking about. You prick your finger, and it, it kind of pinches or whatever. This thing hurts. It does it so a lot of blood comes out. Excuse me. And you want your INR for somebody with clotting issues, you want it to be, above 2.5, but below like 3.3, in that range. And it's been running pretty good. This last one was low for some reason. It was only 1.4. So they adjusted my Coumadin. That's why I check it weekly. And I have an app on my phone that I send it to the doctor, and they read it, and they call me back that day and tell me either to continue with my regimen or to adjust it. Like right now, I alternate days with 5 milligrams and 7.5 milligrams. And I go back and forth alternating days. Well, because it was so low, I did 2 days in a row of 10 milligrams, and then I went back to alternating with the 5 and 7.5. So since I've been on Coumadin, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues. I haven't had to go to the hospital. Haven't really had any chest pain, just a little bit here and there. But nothing too bad. As you can see, I'm outside. It's been a beautiful day in the 80s. It was a bit humid, but I have my fan running. You may or may not hear it. The rough cut of this audio you will hear, but I'm going to take it out once I run my compressor. But other than that, things are going okay right now. One of the other things that was an issue is my wife had a small stroke. Now, after her stroke, she was in rehab probably for, I think 9 months, which is really wild, but it was a whole thing to do with her. I think basically what it comes down to is they try to drain as much money out of the insurance, out of Medicare as they could before they released her. But she went in, she had it on July 5th of 2022, and she came home April the 2nd. So you do the math there, and yeah, you're looking at 9 months. So it was just bad. I couldn't see her as much as I wanted to because she was about an hour away. So in the meantime, I moved. And in moving, I was closer to her, and I was able to go see her, at least a couple times a week. I would go up there and watch Penguins hockey with her. Take some beer and take some wine for her. We had fun. So that was good. And then she came home in April. That's another funny thing. She is hooked on hockey now. First it started off being Penguin hockey, but now she's hooked on all hockey in general, which I guess isn't really a bad thing. But now she's depressed because there's no hockey till the fall. And she's not crazy about that. So, she's talking about getting into and watching football. Of course, I watch football a good bit, pro football, the Steelers, of course. And, I watch other games, but mainly the Steelers. So hopefully they'll have a good team this year, and she'll enjoy watching it if they win. The Penguins, boy, wasn't that a shame this year for you hockey fans out there. They had to win the last 2 games to make it to the playoffs, playing the worst 2 teams in the NHL. They have 3 of the best players in the NHL. Sidney Crosby, Eugene Malkin, and what the hell's his name? Defensive man. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, they couldn't pull it off. They lost both games. However, the team that made it to the playoffs because they lost, they ended up playing in the Stanley Cup. That being the Florida Panthers, playing the Vegas Knights, and Vegas pulled it off. They won it in 5 games, I think it was. And it was a good series, but Vegas they embarrassed Florida, I think anyway. They won like 4-1, 6-1, 7-1. It was embarrassing for Florida. They looked like a junior high team playing a pro team. But we watched all those series. We watched every game of the playoffs. That we could, unless there was 2 on at the same time. Then we picked which one we would watch since the Penguins weren't in it anymore. But that's what's been going on lately. I'm to the point where I feel healthy enough to do videos and make videos, and I'm going to start going back on my regular things like top 10 list and things like that. I will have a video coming out hopefully within the next week or so, and it's top 10 unexplained photos, or photos that couldn't be explained, or stuff like that. Some of them have to do with paranormal. Actually, I think most of them have to do with paranormal. But we'll see how that goes. That's pretty much what's been going on in my life. So I've been seeing pain management. We're trying to get my pain under control. I've probably taken just about every pain medicine you can imagine. Today she changed it from the morphine sustained release tablets, because that really wasn't doing anything, and she put me on some Percocet. So hopefully, being short acting, it actually helps more. That's what the goal is. Where was I? So anyway, I'm hoping to get videos back in a regular rotation and producing more videos. I'm out here on my porch right now. Again, it's a glorious day, and what I'm going to do is set up a desk in the far corner of it and probably put my green screen up, because as you know, I was getting creative with that, and I want to get back to doing that again. That's something I enjoy doing as far as video editing and things like that. So anyway, this is Penguin Speaks / Farron, and I will talk to you soon. Be somebody important, be yourself. Peace out.